There's a brother named Chad. I like the brother. He's a plumber. I like him because he's a tradesman, but he's an intellectual. But this brother's been going on a terrible rant about Dr. King. He's probably gonna put this up on the clip, and I hope you do. But I'm saying it's unfair. I support your right to say anything you want to say. He's very much against Marxism and communism, but he's taking some low blows to me in talking about Dr. King. And I say, I wonder who's funding my brother. He's a black man. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because you can talk about Dr. King being a alleged pervert, having orgies, things of that nature, having multiple women. But we aren't talking about our founding fathers as sex traffickers. Benjamin Franklin had a 13-year-old girl, black girl. Oh, they were in love. No, they weren't. He was sexually assaulting that girl. She was his property. George Washington owned 300 human beings, and I'm sure took advantage. I sit here right now as a product of Crawford Long's family. Someone in Crawford Long's family had sex with someone that was owned or enslaved, which led to the Long family out of North Georgia, Michael Render's mother's maternal family, and I'm related to Crawford Long, the man who invented anesthesia for the battlefield for the Civil War. I'm here because of a rape. And if you're going to criticize Dr. King and you don't find time to criticize the so many white men that founded our country, then that tells me that somebody's paying you to do what you're doing. And although I support your ability, your right to do that, I'm saying that we got to play the game fair, Bubba. We got to play the game fair. And we got to say oftentimes great men fall short of the glory of God, but that don't mean they can't be redeemed. And that does not mean that dream isn't a redeeming thing. Because I didn't know Dr. King, but I knew everybody who knew him. I knew Hosea Williams. I know Andy Young. I knew Joseph Lowry. I knew James Orange. And what I know is these men are stoic in terms of the way they live their life. And as young men, who knows how wild they may have been, but I know that as they've got older, the wisdom that they gave us as young men and the wisdom that they gave us now is priceless. So as a man, I'm gonna fall short. I'm gonna make some mistakes. Right. My wife might show up at 357 one day, but I guarantee you, after I talked to my Auntie Deborah, I tightened up. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage us that while we are defending that First Amendment, let's make sure that we're looking at the rules fair for everyone.
What are some of the changes? I'm gonna make you president. You president of the United States. I'm gonna give you got 4 years.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Create a reparations plan that's going to get African Americans proper education in trades and intellectual education. It's going to get African Americans proper financial education. It's going to give them land grants and the ability to own the land that their ancestors owned, particularly in the Southeast. 54% of African Americans live in the Southeast. I think that 54% of the investment should be there. I think that there should be a heavy investment in terms of making sure that that class of people is brought up, because when the African American economy and the community is doing better, this whole country does better. I would make a pathway toward legal citizenship easier. I would create bilingual classes very early so that we can communicate to one another. I would return trades to high schools on the federal level. I would support that. I would guarantee trades programs in high schools. I also would guarantee minority businesses, construction, like the Ali Construction Company down in Georgia, that they can get more federal grants. These are the construction company I'm telling you about now is the ones who build all the furniture in the Delta VIP lounges, black company. I would make sure that we have a vested interest. I would make sure that public school returns to the greatness of what public schools was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, meaning physical education is important, artistic and music education is important, and your reading, writing, and arithmetic is important. I try to say, why were we so effective in public education, even on through college in the 50s and 60s, and where did we peel off from? I would take debt out of college. I would forgive all college debt. I would make state schools more open to state kids again. I would start to support older people in a way that they would be engaged. I would make the retirement age earlier instead of later, and those that didn't have the option of retiring, I would give them some type of government subsidized job where they can help, whether it be voting booths or librarians or something. So those are some of the things I would do, because I would think when you have a society that can take care of themselves, that can make money and turn a dollar, it creates a more effective society than not.
Wow. Upbringing. Your mom had you at 16.
Yeah.
You was raised by your grandparents.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this. I mean, you've heard different, like, women can raise men, but they need a. Where are you on this black women raising black boys?
Man, I'm gonna say it take a village. I like the village concept.
That's how it was when we grew up.
Yeah. Like everybody was your parent. Got the Miss Ophelia might stop.
The lady down the street can beat you. If you act it up, man. You know, I'm gonna tell your grandma.
Man, Miss Ophelia, hey boy, yes ma'am. Where you going? The candy lady. Your mama know where you going? Yes ma'am. Hold on. She'll go in another room and call. Betty, this boy, yeah, the fat one. He going down there to the candy. Did you tell him he can eat some candy? Okay. Well, I guess you can go on there. While you're gone, make sure you bring me. And I'm just like damn, it's okay. You could have just asked me to bring it. But, you know what I mean? So I believe in the village concept. I remember, man, Denise getting on me so bad one time, and she said, I'm sorry. You know, Denise is my mommy. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm sorry I got to be so hard on you, but you're the only son I got. I don't get a second chance. You know, my grandmother told Shay one time, she said he was so bad. She said, I had to beat him so much, but he was so bad. And what she really meant is I was adventurous, I was curious, I was terrible at times. Right. You know, but she knew that if I didn't impart a certain amount of discipline on this boy, he was gonna go wild. Yes. My grandfather only spanked me once. Shit, he and me cried. Cause he you know, and my grandfather.
Because it shocked you, because you didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it from my guy, man, but he was so loving. And I realized him not having a father, having to drop out of school in the 3rd grade, having to work on a sawmill at 9 years old to support his sisters and his mother. He understood how to be a father because he had been robbed of that opportunity himself. So he was the best to me and my sisters. I come in the bedroom sometimes, and because my grandfather was, you know, yellow with the curly hair, my sister had barrettes in his hair. He just sitting there on the bed looking at the Braves game, letting them do whatever they want to do, because he understood that this is bigger than how I'm perceived, and you know, anybody. So when it came time for me to have to put on my sister's prom dress while my grandma hemmed it, I'm standing there, my buddies looking at the window laughing at me. I'm like, nigga, I don't care. This is my sister. I gotta do this for my little sister. So for me, I take the village approach, which means mothers. Right. You're going to have to allow your young man, if his father is absent via you all don't get along, or God forbid death or prison or something, you're going to have to allow the other men that you trust, not just a guy you're dating or you might know, but the guy who's dating you, who says, I'm in with you now. I'm in with you to raise this boy. You're going to have to give him some authority over that boy. If he has an uncle, your brother, you're gonna have to give some authority over that boy. You're gonna have to get that boy in things like Next Level Boys Academy that Garris Davis runs, like Bear Strong, which Bear from the neighborhood down there in College Park. You're gonna have to give up, because mothering is an authoritarian, it's an absolute. I'm your mother. I made the sacrifice for you. God sent you through me, and we're indebted to that until we're not. And then we get wild. I had a call from a friend of mine yesterday. It's like, Mike, I just don't know what to do. These boys, they were in regular school. I took them out. He in alternative school. Now I found out he's not going to alternative school. And she say, I'm fearing the worst now. I'm just going to have to put him out. I said, well, let's first sit down. Let's have a talk with him. Let's get him with Gary Davis. Let's have a talk with him at Next Level. And let's just say, hey, you know, as a mom, I'm so frustrated now. I don't know what to do with you. I'm about to put you out. And I don't want to put you out, but you're not holding up your end of the bargain. See, it used to be understood in our community, your bargain was that I brought you a diploma. No matter what happened, your sacrifice requires me to bring you a high school diploma. I'm sure your grandparents said that was it, right? Right? So for me, we have to start to set these regulations back up. And women, Lord knows I love you to death. But man, if the government divorced you tomorrow, you wouldn't have nothing but us.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.